our log cabin here, and if you look outside, it is made of logs. These are actual logs that would have been made at the time and probably cut down at the time of the 1850s. But this cabin itself is it's not an original cabin, original structure. We've actually
put in wood flooring. The roof is another one. They would typically start with a lean-to, just have branches over the roof. You can see now it's slanted. The windows as well. For each one of these squares, it would typically be about 25 cents, and they'd make about 60 cents a week. So in the time, these were really expensive. Mm-hmm. And from the outside, you'll notice there are shingles on the roof. Those would have all been hand cut. So that would have been once they had a little bit more time and once they were settled.
Got herb gardens over here, and they would have used these herbs to spice their foods as well as make medicinal things such as teas and other things like that, so that they could maybe heal a burn or heal a sickness.
I've heard of the Three Sisters before, and that you can actually get seeds in a package, and it represents...
Well, this is exactly what they would be growing in this garden.
Wow.
So here we have our Three Sisters garden, and there's actually three things growing. We've got squash, beans, and corn. Now they all grow within each other as sort of a harmonization. So the corn grows up, and then the beans can wrap around the corn, and now the squash is there because it can protect the others from pests and things like that. So they kind of rely on each other to grow very effectively. So here is our 1880s log house. Now, I said the other one was a log cabin. That's because it had one room. So this one has multiple rooms in it. We've got a front parlor section area, as well as a back kitchen, as well as an upstairs. So it's a little bit more spread out than what the pioneers would have had. And now, the 1880s was all about economic growth. By the time of the 1880s, most modern farming equipment that we have today was actually developed. So people were becoming very prosperous in their farming, and were able to really thrive instead of survive as compared to the pioneers.
Now, in this house, at one point, there was 10 children and mom and dad.
Holy mackerel.
And there's only one room upstairs. How would you like to sleep up there? I don't think he thinks you would. We're proud to have it.
You must have been well off. It seems like you'd be well off.
No, I don't think so. It was generic to the times.
Yeah.
They were all built like this.
19 or 1890s?
No, before that. We're saying this is 1880, but I think this room.
So this is our 1920s Ontario-style farmhouse, and this is a very typical style of farmhouse that people would have been living in the 1920s around here. Now this farmhouse, it looks considerably different than what we had in the 1880s. If you notice, the one thing that I noticed the most is the paint. It's very vibrant. You've got this cream color as well as this lovely green. And this was a purpose for a number of different reasons. At the time, it was the style. People loved to paint all over the wood because the logs really looked like a sort of older style. People wanted more paint, and this paint was becoming more increasingly durable. So now we're in the 1920s. Paint is getting, far better in quality and consistency, and they're able to put it up and it'll last a little bit longer, and it also helped to protect the wood on their house.
Yes.
It was actually built in 1892, and we are showing how it will look in 1923.
The barn here.
All of these buildings have been moved twice, and they were taken down and reassembled. Yeah, now they did put some newer boards on the barn. In the past 2 years, starting last summer, we finished the downstairs.
How are you?
I think she's okay, yep. Go ahead, this is summer kitchen.
Thank you.
It often was too warm in here.
Yeah.
So they would use the smaller stove in the summer.
Now this is a typical Ontario-style barn. It's what's known as a bank barn, and you can see that it has this sloped banks, so you can go up into the barn and store your hay and other things. And then underneath we actually have some stables and quite a number of stables, and you can go and that's where the animals. So this is our 1920s SS number 1 Kirby Schoolhouse, and this is actually a replica of an original schoolhouse.
You had to come every day to school. No PE days like they have today. Back in the 20s, you had to be in my classroom right after Labor Day. I would let go.
It's a typical sawmill of the 1920s. Sawmills like these were very important to the area. 1920s era blacksmith shop, and we actually call this the George Rice blacksmith shop because he was a blacksmith that would have operated in, I think it was this very shop.
As you can see along the walls, there are all kinds of different tools, and they were all used for different kinds of things. So there are also lots of different kinds of examples of like what smiths can do. So for instance, this piece of metal, you can see it has lots of different twists in it. So that's just from people experimenting, taking a look to see what they can do, and you can get some really interesting looking results.
Here are 1920s Blue Water Garage. Now we call it our Blue Water Garage because it was named, the people that were instrumental in making this garage was the Blue Water Car Club, which is a local antique car club of the area.
If you'd like, you can go down.
No. Thank you, though.
No problem.
I think we have to go back out to the museum